Hello, it's chesstourist.com. I just gone to series 3 in the walks, and we just beside the grove. We took a short walk from the cross in the centre of Chester. Just a 10-minute walk really, just outside the walls, down to the groves, which is next to the River Dee, just outside the centre of Chester. So I'm just having a salmon sandwich. One of the industries that used to be in Chester was salmon fishing. It doesn't happen anymore. I spoke to a fishmonger in the market, and he said the salmon isn't very good, so it's not fished. But there's still, over at the corner, the salmon steps, and over at the far side it's for the salmon to come back up the river over the weir to breed. And beyond the salmon steps is the salmon leap, and then the salmon buildings designed by the famous American architect Frank Lloyd Wright. So it starts really, the grove started at the old Dee Bridge at the end of Lower Bridge Street, which connects onto Bridge Street, which joins onto the rest of the streets at the cross, the centre of Chester. So it's 10 minutes walk down Bridge Street, then Lower Bridge Street. So you get to the walls and the gateway bridge that was called the Bridge Gate, the arch over the road. So you turn left and there's a little walkway underneath the walls which comes down to here, which is called the Groves. So you've got these Victorian ice cream booths, which in the winter only one's open at the moment. This one doesn't have any staff looking at it. And this is where you can get the boats, pleasure boat cruises, which are now operating all year round, I believe. So there's two boats, Lady Diana, Mark Twain, and you can just come down here, pay cash. I think you can pay with cards now as well, actually. They've got a card machine, sort of handheld when you get on. The tour bus links up, the red tour bus, so you can get off the tour bus. There used to be a combined ticket for the tour bus and the cruises, so it goes upstream. It can't go downstream because of the weir, and it's tidal, so this is the stopping point and the turning around point. So they go upstream. I think it's about, the longest is about an hour, and it goes to Eccleston. There's a little, the Eaton Estate, there's a little iron bridge, and it turns round and comes back. There's some nice views of Bourton and the meadows and some countryside. So what we do now is we'll walk along the groves and just show you what's down here. So we're just underneath the city walls, which are quite high at this point. There's some benches to sit down. There's some parking bays, which is, I think the parking's restricted to 1 hour, 8 AM to 6 PM, 7 days a week. So you can park down for an hour. Inside them times, outside them times, it's just a free-for-all basically. You just come down. There used to be picture sellers apparently along here, but I think we got told recently not to put the pictures on the walls. So we go to the actual, this is the Bedrock, sandstone bedrock under Chester. I can't remember the words, but it's from the dinosaur times, isn't it? Dinosaur. So it's ancient sand dunes which turned into rock, which is quite soft and crumbly, as you can see the walls, because all the rainfall we've had recently, it's softened the rocks and cause problems, so the walkway at the bridge gate is closed as of autumn 2019. This is one of the defensive towers called Thimblebee's Tower. Apparently it's got some cannonball marks from the Civil War, but I can never see them. So it's been shot at from a cannon from the meadows or somewhere. This is Hickory's Smokehouse underneath. And this is the entrance to the Roman Gardens. With a little short Civil War sign here. That was a sweet chestnut. A lot of sweet chestnut trees at the moment, so sweet chestnut. Let's hit a car roof. There's a little picture of where there's a fortification to the siege of Chester, so you've got some parliamentary cannon there from St John's which will be firing. So it'll be a royalist gully placement possibly here on the this tower. Right, so that goes to the Roman Gardens. We'll do a separate video on that one probably. So we'll walk down here. There's some nice signs we put up by the council. The Hickory Smokehouse for the parking. So it's the parking bays for the Grove. You have to come down a little street called Souters Lane from near the amphitheatre, which is St John Street. We've got a pleasant front area to sit, and there's also an ice cream shop cum cafe. There's a boat just come in, later down, which is the biggest boat. The people coming off now, off the boat. This is a little map of where we are, so we're right on the south. This map's the wrong way up for some reason, but so we're right on the south side down. That's the walkway just under the walls, just bordered by the river, and that's the Groves. So it's just a short walk to the cross, which will be there. Bridge Street, Lower Bridge Street. Bridge gate next left along the Groves. So we just walk down to the bandstand now. An ice cream shop. There's another map. A cartoon-like map showing the Upper Chester with the Groves. It's got the weir on that one. So it's called the Groves because you've got the trees planted long. Got some nice hanging baskets. I believe that's it's one of the cycle routes as well. Cycle routes, there's the tree. We're in autumn now, so we just got the leaves off the trees. Walking along. isn't it? Got the public toilets there. I think they're Victorian actually. They're quite interesting actually. Got Victorian plumbing still in there. Copper piping as well, which they actually polish for some reason. Never seen it anywhere. They actually polish the was brass. It might even be brass, but they make it shiny anyhow. So there's the bandstand. You got the anchorite cell, which is it's private property, but there's a monk who lives in it apparently. Yeah. Anchorite was a monk who didn't come out of the cell, so the anchors, I suppose, inside. That's how I remember it. So this is the suspension bridge which goes across the Queen's Park, which is like a nice, like well-to-do suburb of Chester, and also past there to Hanbridge, which has got like a small shopping street and some interesting independent shops on it. There's another ice cream kiosk here, it's closed today. So there's a pathway up the steps which are quite steep, which go up to the St John's Church amphitheatre and back into the shopping centre of Chester, through St John Street onto Eastgate Street, which brings you out near the Blossoms Hotel and the Eastgate Clock. There's a new Snug Breeze ice cream parlour and cafe. A nice walk. There's also a walkway on the opposite side of the river which goes to the meadows. You can walk along the meadows and join it back and walk back into Hanbridge. There's some private moorings here. Some nice houses on the other side, and large houses. There's some nice planters with the nice flowers. There's a cafe at the end called the Moorings, which it used to be called for a long time the Blue Moon Cafe. Which it used to close for winter, but it seems to be open all year now. So we're late on in the year and it's still open now. They've still got the tables out, which that never used to happen a few years ago. Never used to put tables outside in the autumn. This is called the Moorings, which is quite a nice place to just get a coffee while you're walking along the groves. It's the rowing club, which is not really open to the public, but you can see them setting up the boats sometimes. Right, we'll get on the pavement. There's a car, so there is traffic coming along here. So there it is. There's a rowing boat getting ready. And right at the end of the groves is a pub called the Boathouse, which now has riverside rooms, so you can actually stay here, and they have a floating bar as well, so it's expanded out over the years. to the Groves, finish here and go up to Grosvenor Park, and then you can get back into the city centre, Foregate Street, that way. If you turn right you can carry on walking and go to Bourton, which is a suburb of Chester, which has got some interesting shops all along the main road, which is the A41, which I believe actually goes all the way to Parliament Square in London. So the A41 actually starts right outside of Big Ben. That's called the A41 all the way up to here, then out and then out of Chester it goes. Right, so I just noticed a sign that says no vehicles except for access. So there's no like through traffic. It's only vehicles coming to the businesses, possibly unloading. Also, you can hire motorboats. I thought that was one, but that's not. That's a Cox boat, the rowing. There's a similar, you can actually hire out rowing boats and motorboats. But I think that only operates in the summer. So, I'll just give you a view along the river, Grove Suspension Bridge. You can see St Mary's Church, and just right at the end the old D Bridge. So that's it for Series 3.